I'm going to be opening up my Hasbro Power Rangers Yellow Ranger 12-inch figure. I have a video opening the other 4 that they've already released, so you want to check that one out. But we finally added the Yellow Ranger. They did add Yellow and the White Ranger to this 12-inch little series. My alternative reasoning for getting these figures is for my old 1993 figures that only ever came with the Power Blaster, but not their kind of original unique weapons. And these 12-inch figures do come with their weapons, and they kind of scale pretty well with these older figures. So I wanted weapons for them. These are recent releases here. So you can check out the video where I kind of size up their weapons against these figures and see how they go. But right now I'm going to open up the Yellow Ranger and see if her included weapons that we can see here will fit my little scheme as well. And I believe these all combine into the Power Blaster also. So we'll be doing that. So there is the power daggers. She's strapped in here. I do say she. This is definitely trying to be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers version of the Yellow Ranger, not the Super Sentai version that was a male character. So not going to be able to represent that with these. Which is why I kind of like these older 93 figures, because they are kind of all the same body. You can kind of use them for Power Rangers or Zyuranger from Super Sentai. I like to represent both shows with my stuff. So got the same upper body of the Pink Ranger there, but not the skirt piece, which is good because with these they actually kind of have some extra articulation in the legs. They're not just a straight 5-point. They have kind of circular joints for the arms and legs. These are kind of above and beyond. They're not too bad for the 12-inch that are usually just very basic, and even the belt buckle is specific to the Rangers. Here you can see the saber-toothed tiger coin. So the weapon that does connect, I've never seen the Yellow Ranger use them connected in this way. But they have plugs because I think all these combine into the big combined blasting weapon. Very big handles on these, I'll say. I think they were a little shorter, really, on the show. But she does look pretty cool with them. Of course, and they all have their weapon. You'll kind of notice that blue, black, and yellow here all have colored weapons. And red and pink just have gray weapons. Let me just put Yellow Ranger to the side for a second, because what I also end up getting were these Morphin Hero figures. Supposed to be about the same size, but they're a little bigger. They have like a flipping mechanism with these helmets, which kind of playing around with them, they're actually removable. And they make nice little just helmets to sit as displays, but you can attach these and they have like a mechanism squeezed in the leg. I have a whole video about opening these two also that you can check out. I'll get the links in the description and the comments and at the end of the video if you want to see the individual videos about these. But then their weapons were colored. So pink had a pink bow, red had the red-handled sword. Here it's just plain with that figure. And the other problem is that this sword here, and it'll be the same for the Pink Ranger's bow with these. Look how much larger it is. Again, I'm getting these because I want the weapon for my 1993 old Power Ranger figures, and this sword is so much bigger. This one's actually smaller and fits the figure a lot better. Plus the coloring, just as a bonus, kind of looks more like what the figure might have actually came with had they chose to have it come with the sword. It looks a lot better than this one that I originally got. I just thought, why is this one so huge? It's just really weird. So it didn't quite work for me because it was way too big. I was wanting scaled weapons for these older figures, and they're just in a weird scale. They're 8-inch, so 6-inch figure weapons don't work very well, and everything else has been all these different sizes. What we need to do is see how the Yellow Ranger's daggers fit in the old figure's hands. I think it's gonna look pretty okay, although again I noticed the handles are so long. The dagger part is alright, but the handle is a lot longer. But again, they had no weapons before, so now I think everybody kind of has a good weapon, and they're even kind of colored to match the Ranger, so not too bad. So I like this for the Yellow Ranger. These are good for me. Funny that it wasn't just all in one line. I feel like there was like a mix-up or something, because this seems like it sizes with the others, so why didn't the bigger figure come with this bigger sword? Is very strange. Same with the bow. So these are the Morphin Heroes weapons that are smaller, not part of this line we're showing, but they do have better weapons for the figures that I wanted. But what you can do now, I believe, which is another kind of hindrance that I'm mixing and matching these, if you buy all this line, all these should come together and form the big power blaster. Which does kind of put a hole in my theory of the mix-up, but they still may have. We'll take a look at it here. So we got power axe, power bow, and that just has a hole in the middle there, and there's a spot for it here to lock on. We'll go power daggers, there's a peg, power lance, tip those up a bit, and then get the power sword on the top, there's a peg there. They do all form together, but again, wouldn't it have made a little more sense if the red sword and pink bow, so everything had its color represented on it instead of just having gray ones? I don't understand what happened there. Something got lost in translation with the design, I think. It was kind of hard to have them hold it all too, but I feel like even if it was the size of the Morphin Hero ones, I think you still could have had room. But again, this one doesn't have the clips for the weapon. The sword would still cover the top of the axe, so I don't know what happened there. Very strange, but if you do buy all the same, they do combine into that, so that is a cool bonus. You can still have room to put the arrow if you wanted to keep them all together. But I kind of bought these figures for the weapons, so except the pink and red ones are just kind of too big, so they don't really fit with what I was wanting to do. But the Black Ranger's axe sized really well with the old figure. The lance pretty well with the older figure. Again, it doesn't really scale well with these bigger ones. I mean, the lance just seems kind of short to me. So we got the daggers, pretty good deal. I feel like the Morphin Heroes with the changing heads weapons match better with the older figures instead of this from this line. As far as these figures go though, they're pretty good. Like the helmets look super accurate to the show, like the shape. I mean, look at the shape of the Pink Ranger's helmet. It's like very much how she had the bigger, like that. Like if you got these just for the weapons like me, I mean, you're still up pretty well because there's no other way to get some weapons for the older figures, but these look pretty nice just for what they are. They're just like $11 or $12 12-inch figures, plastic. And then it's much more specific to Power Rangers with the female style body for the Yellow Ranger. But they even down to only the skirt on the Pink Ranger instead. That was a problem with this one though, is that because of the skirt mold, it's only kind of the up and down and there's no split or anything. But again, they all have individual coins to their correct figure, and even if you just popped the heads off of these and had helmets to display, that would look really good. There's a lot of good reasons to get this set. This would be an awesome set to give to a kid that was watching the old reruns of the first season of Power Rangers. Like, these are kind of in stores. I think you could probably find them. You can order them places. They come with their main weapon, and they do have a little more articulation than just a basic. I mean, we even have the ball joint, but even the full gloves rotate. It was kind of weird. Some of them have trigger hands, so I felt like they were supposed to even maybe have their blaster. But funny that the older figures' blasters fit with them pretty well as well. So you can kind of do a little trade there. Give their weapon to the older figures and then give the old gun to these, because a lot of them have kind of trigger style hands. There's a lot of versatility in these. My main complaint here though, they didn't release the Yellow Ranger at first, but I was expecting the Green Ranger. They went with the White Ranger, and he comes with the Saba sword, but the old 93, or whatever year the White Ranger came in and had his figure, he came with Saba already. So I don't need a weapon for the White Ranger figure with my old collection from the 90s. I really needed a Dragon Dagger and a Green Ranger figure to match these. And then I could have rated his Dragon Dagger weapon. Would have been like a green dagger for the old figure. Now doesn't seem to be like they're going to do a Green Ranger, because they just went white, and then it's probably about the end of these. So I'm still hoping maybe there's a chance if they continue these 12-inch figures, which I believe they've done other show Rangers in this size, and probably included their weaponry and things. Maybe they're saving the Green Ranger for another release with some other Rangers, Zeo or any of the numerous seasons. Holding out hope, but right now all I got is the 5 main Rangers, which is still pretty good to have all those weapons. Just now got the Yellow Ranger to add, mostly for stealing the weapons. So these 12-inch Hasbro figures, really good weapons for the Black, Yellow, and Blue Ranger. But I would probably go with the Morphin Hero ones if you want to do like I did for these older figures to give them some weaponry. So I like these better. Doesn't this just make more sense that they all have their own color? Maybe I'm just the only crazy one that wanted weapons for my old figures. Everybody else has moved on to the Lightning collection. What am I doing here? I kept these in good condition and always played with them, and I saved my own money and bought these original figures, and they weren't cheap. They were probably 10 each, so I was very young and spending, $50 to get the full set. Some of the vintage stuff, even if it's a little beat up, kind of means more in my action figure collection than if I just bought newer figures like Lightning Collection or these. I mean, that's just me, but let me know how you like to collect, and get subscribed because we'll watch all the other stuff I collect here, Power Rangers and everything else. Always opening something cool. So if you got this far in the video, definitely hit like, just because that helps other fans get to see this video. So I'll put on the screen the other 2 videos about the Morphin heroes and the other 12-inch figures here. So see you in the next video there.